Wrestling has more than one royal family.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports. Let go, show recaps, predictions, sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports. Let go.
What is going on, everyone? It's the EVP from the EVP Show, and we are live finally for tonight on the EVP Show. It is April 1st, 2026, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the EVP Show. This is one of the nights we've been waiting for. This is the NXT Stand and Deliver Prediction Show. I can say this now, as my channel is almost a year old. This is definitely the biggest and most star-studded prediction panel that I've had to date. So thank you guys for coming in. But with that being said, I'm gonna go across and introduce everyone. You can give a quick introduction if you don't want to, spill your guts or anything. That's fine. But give you your flowers, obviously, and then we'll get started. This is the NXT Stand and Deliver Prediction Show. So, first person I see on the top of the screen is from DWE Island himself, Mr. Caleb. How are you doing tonight, Caleb?
I'm doing good. I can't wait for this match. I'm going to deliver.
All right. Yeah, good to have you, man. Had you on the last PLE prediction show, and we'll be having you in 2 weeks for WrestleMania. Same time, same place 2 weeks from now. So, all right. So next person, he also is part of DWE Island. It is Lou. What's going on, brother? How you been?
I'm doing good. Looking forward to getting my predictions in with the faithful in this panel.
All right. Yeah, and also be seeing Lou in 2 weeks for the WrestleMania prediction show. So next up, I just met him, honestly, a couple of weeks ago through Stampede. Thank you, Stampede, for helping me get people for this show, obviously, and WrestleMania. We talked a little bit through X, but it is the first time on the EVP show. Welcome, Khaled. How you going? Is that how you say your name? I don't want to butcher it.
I'll tell you this, you're not the first person to butcher it. I know it's hard for people to pronounce it. It's pronounced Khalid, but if you cannot pronounce it, you can just say Khaled. I'm so used to it at this point.
Khalid. Okay. How you doing tonight? Thank you for being here. Welcome to the EVP show.
Thank you. Glad to be here. It's been a while since I've watched NXT, so I'm glad I'm doing this because it gives me a reason to catch up on NXT because there's so many talent I like down there. And obviously, honestly, I think this is going to be a pretty good show, and I can't wait to predict it with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to have you, and you also will be part of the WrestleMania prediction show in 2 weeks on the 15th. All right, next up, this man needs no introduction. He is the Human Dictionary. I see him everywhere, every freaking YouTube stream. I don't know how he has enough TVs, enough computers. Mr. Electronics, Mr. Dictionary, one of my good buddies now. Welcome, Stampede, back to the EVP show.
The man of many names, the mayor of Canada, the true cornerstone of Canada.
All right.
And only true Grand Slam champion of Point Taken. Glad to be here. Mob, I know you got the Rams jersey on, but this isn't like Point Taken, my man. You want to last to the end of the show, right? Not just the first 15 minutes.
Side.
Oh, man. Appreciate it, Stampede. Also, Stampede will be here for April 15th for WrestleMania at 7 p.m. Eastern. All right, next up, She definitely needs no introduction, as she has been on the EVP show, prediction show, more than anyone ever. This will be her I think it's either her fifth or sixth prediction show. I was actually a guest on her show along with Autumn on the Wrestling Divas podcast last night. She is part of Gimmick Table Media, one half of the Wrestling Divas podcast. Welcome, Lady Alpha. You're on mute.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry. And if I see that you guys are on mute and I forget, I'll just unmute you guys. Sorry about that. But good to have you back. Obviously, you've been a mainstay, so glad you're doing good. Haven't seen you in so long since last night. But I'm glad you're had fun on your show. So, and like I told everybody, my name's always open to come on other shows so I can get a break from doing 7 streams a week. All right. So next up, me and this guy hit it off really fast. Such a positive person in the IWC. Truly great friend, been a great listener. Somebody I can always go to when I need somebody to talk to. I think this is either his third or fourth time on the EVP show. He is from the Cheap Seat podcast. Chris Branson, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you again.
Same here, brother. Nice to see such great luminaries. The first lady of wrestling podcast to my left, I believe. No, right. Stage right. Whatever. Anyhow, here excited to talk a little bit of NXT. It's nice to see Hadid, as well as the Mayor of Canada and Silos down there. And it was nice to fill in for Mob Miz this weekend on Good Evening IWC. Hey, I think he was on special assignment, if I remember correctly, to Parts Unknown.
Yep.
Also, if you guys get a chance, make sure this is streaming live on my YouTube, my ex, and the CEO, the head of the table of DWE Miami the Greats on X page. So if you guys get a chance while we're streaming, make sure you retweet that live. Make sure you guys like the stream at the end of the night. That helps me out with my streaming channel. So thank you guys. All right, so next up, I met this guy back when I worked for a different company, which I will refuse to name on the stream. But I met him there when I was doing Twitter Spaces on Mondays and Fridays. I won't name them, but we had a crazy relationship on Twitter Spaces. Obviously, we went at it a lot, but we also were very good for that particular show. So, welcome, Sean. Your first time here on the EVP show. Glad to have you. Good to see you. How you been?
What's up? I'm doing good. Just ready to get this thing rolling.
Sounds good. Appreciate you, brother. It's been a while, long time, but glad you're doing well. And welcome to my YouTube channel. Glad to have you on. And I will see you for WrestleMania as well. And Chris, I haven't forgot about you. You're coming on WrestleMania too. All right, my next guest, one of my absolute favorite people in the community. I'm talking about just can't ask for a better human being. I love everything he does on X, lifting the IWC up. Just couldn't ask for a better friend, a better supporter. Someone's always honest no matter what. That is Carlos from the Wrestle. Are you still with the Wrestle Collective? That's correct.
Yeah, Wrestle Collective, Fans of Pro Wrestling Network, and also Point Taken. So yeah, that's all. Okay. That's all those ones. And just call Sean what it is. Sean's a space whore. He's a truck driver, so he's on every space. It's okay, Sean. We appreciate you. He calls with me, so I appreciate Sean as well. But yeah, pleasure to be here again. Yeah. Thank you for the gracious intro. With an intro like that, that's why I make time to do the space. Even though I make time to do the show because I got a space later on. Happy to be here. I'm happy to talk about NXT. NXT is a product that deserves more eyes, and I'm glad to be here today.
Yeah, thank you guys. Like I said, if you guys want to retweet this, or you guys, friends can, people that's not following me or following this channel, obviously can catch you guys on here. So I appreciate you guys. And thank you, Carlos. I will see you also on WrestleMania night, April 15th. All right, last but not least, this is his second appearance on the EVP show. I haven't got a chance to come on his show. Like I tell anybody, you guys have a YouTube channel. If I have a free night and you guys want me to come on, I'm always open to come on to different shows. He is from the Mob Squad. What's going on? And the biggest LA Rams fan I know, Puka Nacua. I love him. So, what's going on, brother? What's going on, Michael? How you doing?
Not much, man. Thank you for having me. I wore my jersey, came fresh from Cancun just to show it off to Stampede because I know how much he loves the Rams. But also, I want to say shout out to Chris for filling in for me for good evening, IWC. Now, that was a last minute sub that I greatly appreciate. But I'm ready to get busy and talk some NXT. Let's go.
All right. Thank you so much. And I also will see you April 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for WrestleMania. Can't wait to see you there as well. Just before we get started, we'll run through quick comments. At Mario Drip 3870. I'm not quite sure who that is, but they said hello. Maybe that's
one of my boys from out here. He's from
okay.
Out this way.
Perfect, great. I love to see new people on here. Bobby at Bobby says hello, everyone. Obviously, hey Bobby, I see him all the time. He's also on the show. He comes on the show a lot. Bobby again at Mob Squad, the Elite Mob Podcast. That's obviously Michael down there on his channel. Shout out to them. Make sure you give them a follow and a subscription on X as well. At Mario, like and subscribe. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that. That's what it's all about. It's all of us growing. So thank you so much. And then Bobby again. Always enjoying the show. He tells me that every night. I love Bobby. He's phenomenal. All right, guys. So let's get started. I'm super excited, man. This has been something I've been planning for a little bit over a month on X, and I appreciate everybody that's helped out and taking the time to come out tonight. So we have a really good card. NXT is, for me, the number one show. When it comes to WWE, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, I would put NXT at the top of those three right now. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the pre-show match. Obviously, it's live Saturday on YouTube. If you guys want to catch it, you're going to watch it. It's going to be on YouTube. 7 p.m. Eastern from St. Louis, Missouri. So let's start with the pre-show match, guys. I think it'll probably happen, 6:30, something like that. So it's going to be a 10-person mixed tag team match. We're going to see Birthright, obviously, with the TNA Women's Knockout Champion, which I have a TNA show. You got to make sure to tune into that tomorrow night. Ariana Grace and Birthright against Shallow Hill, Hank and Tank, Eli White, and the WWE NXT Women's Speed Champion, Brandon Sinclair. I'm going to start with you, Michael. Who do you got in this 10-man tag and why?
Could you went out for a second? You want to read it back to me real quick? I didn't hear the second half of the 5 people.
Okay, so it's Birthright, which is all the people. Do you know all the people in Birthright?
Yeah, I heard that part. It was the second part I didn't hear.
Okay, so Eli White, Shallow Hill, also Hank and Tank, the former NXT Tag Team Champions, and the NXT Women's Speed Champion, Ren Sinclair.
Damn. I wanna hope that they give Birthright a or I guess that even though they're not using the names, but I'm gonna go with the secondary champion and Hank and Tank. I'm gonna be biased here. I love Hank and Tank. They remind me of old school tag team wrestling. They also got the secondary champion with them, so I'm gonna take them over Birthright. I don't believe in Birthright.
All right, so you're going with the other side from Birthright. I love Hank and Tank as well. They're actually the ones that took the titles off of Fraxium before they were called up to the main roster. So, yep. All right, so that's one for that side. That's not Birthright. This is too many people to call out. All right, Carlos, you're up. Birthright against the other team.
So Birthright's a new faction, just getting going. They lost last night in the tag team title contender match due to shenanigans of their own kind of their own actions. I don't see them losing twice in a row. I'm going with the Birthright on Saturday. Team
All
heels.
right. All right, so we got one each. Michael was the other side, and Carlos with Birthright. All right, Sean, you're up. Birthright versus Team. I'll just say Team Shallow Hill or Team Hank and Tank. Who you got?
I'm gonna go Birthright because in matches like this, I always go with the team with a name.
Nice.
I mean, I love that. I mean, and it's a pre-show match, and they are trying to build Birthright up. So, I hate that Ren's on there because I don't want her to take a loss, but I agree. All right, so we got 2 for Birthright and 1 for Team Hank and Tank. All right, Chris Branson, what's going on, brother? Who you got, Team Birthright or Team Hank and Tank?
So I'm gonna follow along with Carlos. You want to make this as easy as possible. Birthright wins. I know it's Stampede's least favorite faction in the IW in wrestling right now, but yeah, unless you want to cut them at the knees, it's got to be Birthright.
All right,
Cut them at the knees.
Cutting them at the knees. 3 for Birthright. If you're counting with me, right, Lady Alpha? Because I know you're taking notes tonight. All right, 3 Birthright, 1 Team Hank and Tank. So Bobby Matias says he's picking Birthright, and maybe Marie Malenko debuts and joins Birthright.
Like
Interesting.
Well,
Love it.
I was gonna say something real quick on that one.
Go ahead.
If Maria Malenko does show up, I could see Stax and Ariana Grace getting their Birthright walking papers.
Oh yeah, 100%. All right, so 3. So we got 3 Birthrights and 1 Team Hank and Tank. All right, I'm gonna save Lady Alpha for next to last. She wants to go right before me, so I'm gonna pass over Lady Alpha for right now. Stampede, you're up. Birthright versus Team Hank and Tank. Who you got, brother, and why?
Birthright is one of the worst things that I've ever seen, ever in the history of ever seen. It's a horrible man. There's no way they should win this. They're absolutely ridiculous. So that being said, I'm going with Eli, Shiloh, Hank and Tank, and Rex.
All right, appreciate that. So it looks like we got 3 Team Birthright, and 2 Team Hank and Tank. If you guys are going to me next, Skip, I got a call to take. Okay, are you done with your call, Lou? Okay, perfect. Sorry, I just saw that. All right. So I don't want to butcher your name. Sorry, man, if I do. I'm gonna call you DJ Khaled. Because
For fuck's sake.
it just kind of fits. So DJ Khaled. So I don't butcher your name. Who you got? Birthright or Team Hank and Tank, and why?
Well, I hate to do this type of prediction, but I'm not familiar that much with Hank and Tank, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to go with Birthright, mainly because there's some wrestlers on there I am more familiar with. Like, I'm familiar with Lexus King and Stax and Ariana Grace. So maybe, who knows? I might be completely wrong. Maybe Stampede is right that Birthright is the worst thing to ever happen in NXT. But so far, I got to go with them because I just don't know anything about Hank and Tank.
All right. I appreciate DJ Khaled in the house. Oh, and since he is a fellow Cody Rhodes fan, I got to do this. All right. Thank you, DJ Khaled, my fellow Cody fan. All right. So that gives. So where are we at? 4-2, Lady Alpha on Birthright and Okay, perfect. All right, Lou. Birthright versus Team Hank and Tank. Who you got?
This will change at some point, but for the time being, I'm going with Birthright.
Perfect.
I love Hank and Tank. I don't get me wrong. Love them and the rest of the guys on that team. My prediction will probably change to the other team, but for the time being, it's Birthright for now.
All
I
right.
guess it would be nice if they got a win, sort of, since they had lost their most recent match. But if they don't, I guess they'll get a win at some point,
Yeah.
whether it be a normal NXT match or everywhere else.
All right. Appreciate that, Lou. All right, Caleb, who you got? Birthright, or Team Hank and Tank?
I got Hank and Tank. I do not like Birthright. I do not like Ariana Grande, so I gotta go with the opposite. I gotta go with the faces. Hank and Tank and the others.
All right. Perfect. So it looks like, if I'm counting correctly, I haven't went to Lady Alpha yet, but I believe we have it. Was it 5-3? 5 Birthright and 3 Hank and Tank. Is that correct? All right, Lady Alpha, you're up. How can you?
Okay. Experience overall, Birthright. That's my thing.
Oh, all right. So you're going Birthright. Perfect. Thank you, Lady Alpha. So 6 for Birthright and 3 for Team Hank and Tank. I always round us out here on the EVP show. I never go first. I save myself for last, unless it's a Cody Rhodes match, and I'm probably bumping all you guys' asses on WrestleMania night. Y'all ain't going before me, talking all that hardcore mess about the Golden Boy of WWE. But I'm gonna go last tonight. I'm not the hugest fan of Birthright. I'm really not. But I do think they're trying to build them up. I hate to see Ren take a loss. I love Hank and Tank. They beat Braxion. I think that Hank and Tank would be great on the main roster eventually in the tag division that we need. A lot of help on the men's side. But I'm gonna go Birthright. So I'm going Birthright. So I believe that's 7 Birthright and 3 Hank and Tank. All right, guys. So let's get to the main card. We're just going to keep the same exact order, so that I don't get confused. Nobody gets confused. We're going to start with the WWE NXT Tag Team Championship, Men's NXT Tag Team Championships. It's going to be Vanity Project defending against Los Americanos, which they qualified last night. They also beat Birthright. I'm gonna start with you, Michael. Vanity Project versus Los Americanos for the NXT tag titles. Who you got and why?
I wanna say Los Americanos, but actually, you know what? I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm not the biggest fan of Vanity Project. I don't know how far that's gonna go. I kind of feel like the same how Stampede feels about the other boys boys or girls that he just brought up. So I'm gonna say that the Los Americanos steal the belts.
I love it. Way to be the rebel, Michael. I love it. You're always a rebel. All right, so we got 1 for Los Americanos. All right, Carlos. Los Americanos versus Vanity Project, accompanied by Jackson Drake. For NXT titles, who you got? Somebody not.
These up for Vanity Project. Come on now, they're just getting started. Go watch some more NXT, Michael. I mean, how do you say you don't watch the show? I say you don't watch the show. By picking the tag team that's barely been on it for 2 weeks. Come on. This isn't triple A. The Vanity Project for the W.
All right, Carlos is on the Vanity Project. Yeah. Like it. Like both. All right, Sean. We got a tie between Vanity Project and Los Americanos. Who you taking and why?
Vanity Project, for every reason Carlos just mentioned, they're just getting started and they're not losing to a AAA tag team.
Maybe not. We'll see. You never know. This is WWE we're talking about, guys. I mean, you never know, but we'll see. I mean, yeah, I do. I think you guys are right. All right. So 2 Vanity Project, 1 Los Americanos. All right, Chris, are you gonna join Michael on that island? We always have that island on the EVP show where somebody's alone. You join that island, or you going with Vanity Project?
I'm gonna go with Vanity Project. The only reason why is I think OG El Grande Americano gets them back for Rey de Reyes night 1. And since American Made ain't doing absolutely anything, we may see more luchadors come stand and deliver. So I think that leads up to Triple Mania, the mask versus mask that everybody thought was going to end up at WrestleMania.
Yep.
So yeah, Vanity Project, because it's very early in their tag team reign. So no.
Yeah, very early. So Bobby's also going with Vanity Project, and Bobby also picked. Oh, never mind. You already said that. So yeah, I was gonna announce that. Obviously, yes, the mask versus mask match that I talked about, and I thought was a possibility of WrestleMania is gonna occur on AAA. So that's good stuff, Chris. So I believe it's 3-1 Vanity Project. Stampede, Vanity Project versus the Los Americanos, which I believe one of them is Tyler Bate, which is Saul Ruka's boyfriend, if I'm not mistaken. So, who you got? Stampede? If he's on mute, I can go back to him. All right, we do have Raymond in the comments. It's his birthday, obviously, so everyone tell Raymond
happy birthday.
He's running a little late, so I will let him make his predictions as he goes in the comments. I'm not sure what Stampede is, but we'll go ahead and go. I'll go back to Stampede. We are on Raymond. We're on Vanity Project versus Los Americanos. So just put your prediction in the comments. All right, DJ Khaled. Who you got? Los Americanos or Vanity Project?
He got better hair than him too. I'm going with Vanity Project, mainly because, as Chris said earlier, I feel like Los Americanos won't be like an NXT mainstay. They're already doing stuff on the main roster, and they've got their hands full in AAA with the main El Grande Americano, Ludwig Kaiser, and the original Chad Gable, and I'm pretty sure like yeah, sure, yeah.
Chad Gable.
and I have a big ass nose. So yeah, I think for that reason, because they've got their hands full in AAA, it's pretty obvious that Vanity Project will retain the tag team championships.
All right, appreciate you, DJ Khaled. I'm gonna have to start calling you that from now, man. It's kind of stuck here when you're on my show, so hope you enjoy it.
For it.
All right, so but yeah, I believe that's 4-1. Vanity Project, maybe 5. I mean, I'm starting to lose track at this point. All right, so Lou, who you got? Vanity Project or Los Americanos?
Los Americanos have been around for a while, so I think it would be nice if Vanity Project got the win. So with that being said, I'm also going with Vanity Project.
All right, Michael, I love it. I love you, brother. But you're so far you're on that island. I mean, you were kind of that way last PLE. But
I just think that everybody's scared and likes to play it too safe.
I mean, not me, bro. I'll jump on that.
No, Caleb's probably picking them too. Caleb loves his baby faces, so stay tuned.
So, all right, I did
Hey.
skip over Stampede, so I'm gonna go Stampede before I go to Caleb. Stampede, Vanity Project versus Tyler Bate, Saul Ruka's man, and the other one Rabo.
Pete
What
Dunne.
is it? Rayo Americano.
Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne. Yeah.
Stampede had a phone call. The mayor's duties are like they're fucking endless, man. And with this Chris Jericho stuff, people are calling me left and right. This one here, I'm going to agree with Norton. Who knew? But I am also not a fan
Wow.
of the Infinity Project. But they are NXT boys, and they should get the love here. Like, even though likely it's not going to be a straight up match. So I wish it would be, but it's probably not going to be. Plus, the Americanos literally have other complete shit going on somewhere else that they have to do. So they don't have to be in NXT holding titles. Vanity Project.
All right. So it's a lot to one. Michael, with Vanity Project. Caleb, you're next. Vanity Project versus.
I got Los Americanos. They need
See,
that
told
win.
you.
They need a win, and I got
All right.
Los Americanos winning.
All right. We got Caleb and Mike. Michael down on that island alone. He's got a cell phone
Planted
partner
the
out there.
flag.
All right. We got six Vanity Project and 2 Los Americanos. All right, Lady Alpha, you're up. I'll unmute you. Who you got? Los Americanos or Vanity Project?
The Vanity Project is new with the title, so they'll retain.
All right. So Lady Alpha going with the Vanity Project. So, for me, I mean, I don't know. I don't really give a shit, honestly, about Vanity Project. I think that Jackson Drake, I think he's got a lot of potential. These are going to be NXT future for a while, whether we like them or whether we don't like them. Los Americanos has so many different hands and so many different fires. AAA, SmackDown, you see them Raw, but we're gonna see them everywhere. It makes absolutely no sense at all to take the titles off Vanity Project on their first title defense. So I'm also gonna. Sorry, Michael, I love you, but I'm gonna have to go with Vanity Project as well. I think they could drop on the first defense. So, all right, Chris, go ahead.
Just so you know, it's just been put out there on the chat, but Robert Stone, everybody's favorite gym and tan legend, now GM. Shout out to TNA, Impact, that era. Has just announced that the women's match for the women's NXT championship is a triple threat. So it is.
Yo, come on, we off, dude. That was happening.
It's set in stone.
What's the odds? I mean,
it is set in stone now. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I love Lou's Malone face.
All right, perfect. So I believe the final score was 8-2. Vanity Project.
Wait, Lou, do that face one more time. Do the face one more
I'm
time.
good. You're gonna
Raymond,
have to
come on.
Raymond, if you want to comment on the Vanity Project versus Los Americanos match, make sure you put it in the comments. And we are moving on, guys, to match number 2. I'm not going to go in any particular order. Obviously, I know the men's NXT Championship match is going to main event, but I'm going to go to my next favorite match because it's my show. So it is going to be for the Women's NXT North American Championship. Tatum Paxley will be defending against the Glamour herself, Blake Monroe, and I can't wait for this one. Michael, I know you was a huge Blake fan when she was in AEW. I love Mariah over there as well. Who you got?
This I don't even know what Blake's even doing in NXT. This seems like she's going backwards right now, literally. With that being said, I like what Pax is doing. I'm gonna go with Tatum. I'm not gonna pick Blake. I don't really have any faith in what she's been doing over there.
Oh wow. All right, Tatum Paxley. All right, Carlos. Blake Monroe. Kind of lost this title to Thea Hale because of a ref botch, and just hasn't really recovered since. Gets a match back, or title match back that she had already had. With Tatum Paxley, who's doing excellent work. Who you got?
This is a hard one. This is the hardest one for me to predict because again, can they really do Tatum dirty again and have her lose the title so quickly after they did that with her for the NXT Women's title? The answer is yes. It's gonna be Blake Monroe. She's getting her title back on Saturday. Why she's going after this title, I don't know. Keep taking a bath in the WWE Kool-Aid. Don't forget to take your pills. Blake Monroe for the win.
All right, I love it, Carlos. So, all right, one Blake, one Tatum Paxley. All right, Sean, Blake Monroe, Tatum Paxley. Who you got and why?
I got Tatum Paxley because I think Blake Monroe was going to SmackDown or Raw after Mania.
All right, Sean. Sean said he thinks Blake's going up. All right, so we got two. So you picked Tatum. So 2 Tatum and 1 Blake. All right, Chris, for Blake Monroe, Tatum Paxley. I actually think one of these ladies is going up, but I will talk about it when it's my turn. But who you got?
So, thankfully, Sean said something ahead of time. I think Tatum's going up, and since Blake had to take the Duck Dodgers route of getting to Planet X to finally get her North American Championship back, I'm going with Blake Monroe. I mean, gotta put the momentum back under your brand's first or second biggest female heel.
Well, Chris, to be fair, and I love Sean, but he said he thinks Blake Monroe's going up. The EVP was actually going to say that I felt like Tatum Paxley is going to go up at the end of this match. But all right, so you got Blake. So we got 2-2.
I think that's my hint as to who I think is going up.
Yeah, 100%.
He thinks Tatum's going up too.
I 100% agree. I think Tatum would do phenomenal on the main roster right now. Throw her with Danhausen. See what you can do. All right, Stampede, 2-2. Who you got? Blake versus Tatum.
So with Tatum, the NXT creative, they've basically figured out who and what she is as a character and in the ring. Like they've nailed that. The artist formerly known as Mariah May, they have not figured out either of those things yet. She's been there for a little over almost a year, if not a little bit more. So I'm thinking Tatum retains. She's only had one successful defense. She doesn't even have possession of her title. So I think she needs to build up a little more credibility with that title first. And they got to figure out what they're doing. But I don't see either one of them coming up, especially Blake. I don't think he's ready for what they have done.
All right. So you're going with Tatum Paxley. So it looks like 3 Tatum, 2 Blake. All right, DJ Khaled. Tatum Paxley defending against Blake Monroe. Who you got?
I'm going with Tatum Paxley for the exact same reason that what Sean said. I think it's overdue that Blake Monroe goes to the main roster after this. And I think what they've been doing, especially on SmackDown with having a lot of fresh new faces, it's especially, I mean, even though SmackDown is a terrible show currently, the fact that it's a 2 out of 10 show and not a 1 out of 10 is mainly because of the new guys and girls up there, like Trick Williams, for example. And I think Blake Monroe would be a fantastic addition to actually either Raw or SmackDown. And I think Tatum Paxley is still building herself up. And I think she needs to continue doing so because I'm a big Pax fan. So I'm going with Tatum here to retain. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, brother. Bobby said he's torn between the 2 girls. I like Blake Monroe, and he respects Tatum. So, all right. So that's what is it? I've been lost track of count on this one. I know Tatum's in the lead. That's all
42, I think.
4-2. Thank you, Carlos. All right, Lou. Tatum Paxley, Blake Monroe.
Now, before I get to my response, I want to ask the faithful on the panel, how long has Blake Monroe been in NXT?
As long as I've been watching it, which is at least 8 months.
About almost a year. Yeah, because she left.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's about 8 months. Yeah, because she left last March.
Okay.
Yeah,
how long has
Revolution was her last
Tatum-
match.
But also just remember they get $25 million a year from CW. They want to keep them happy. They got to keep stars on that show too. They can't just bring everybody in the main roster.
Yes,
How long
sir.
has Tatum been in NXT? That's what I'm also trying to figure out.
So you going with Tatum?
No, I'm asking how long has Tatum?
A long time. She's overdue. She's way overdue. Like at least 3 years.
She's been there a while, like 2.5,
4 years.
3 years, 4
She
years.
was there. She was
So she's
there
like a
with
super
Diamond
senior.
Mine. So about
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah,
4
she's
years.
been there a while.
Senior then, if that's the case.
But they
Um,
finally figured out what to do with her, I think.
So I don't like this, but I have to say Blake. Because if they're really gonna call her up, then I don't really think it would make sense for her to retain unless they allow unless they allow Tatum to retain and vacate the title, and then go up anyway. But that remains to be seen.
All right, so you going with Blake?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, Caleb, Tatum, Paxley, and Blake Monroe. Who you got?
I got Blake Monroe. Actually, I like both girls, but I go with my most favorite, so I gotta go with Blake. Yeah, I think she's going over, and yeah,
All right, thank you, Caleb.
Are the chips good, Taylor? Are the chips good, Caleb?
So are we? We're at 4-4 actually.
I forgot to
Carlos.
bring my own chips. Oh my goodness.
4-4. So Lady Alpha, time for you to break the tie. Tatum Paxley versus Blake Monroe. Who wins?
I'm torn because with what y'all said about Tatum coming up while she's due. Soul is the one that's been getting the showcases. Tatum has not been introduced to the main roster fans as of yet. So I'm going with Tatum to retain.
All right. Thank you, Lady Alpha. That is 5-4. And for the first time, well, I believe this will be the first time ever on the EVP show and a prediction show where we are going to end up in a tie. Carlos, it's hard for when I go last because obviously you guys are just too good. Y'all are goats. The CW does have a big contract deal. That's why you still see Ricky Saints and Ethan Page and Joe Henry and Blake Monroe, and they can't. While there are going to be people come up after Stand and Deliver and after WrestleMania, they cannot completely gut NXT and still expect to get that viewership. I'm going with Blake Monroe. She shouldn't have lost the title to begin with. Tatum, I think Tatum could come up. I think it's an extreme possibility she does. I think Blake is can hold that title for a while until she gets ready to win the NXT Women's title. But maybe Kendall Gray. I think that could be our next big feud. Maybe on down the road. Who knows? But I'm going with Blake Monroe to win the NXT Women's North American Championship. So we have a 5-5 tie, which is the first time ever. All right, match number 3, guys. It's going to be the opposite side of this. We're going to go to the men's NXT North American champion, Stephanie Vacour's boyfriend, Miles Bourne, defending the NXT North American Championship against, believe it or not, Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano. Michael, who you got, and why?
I'm gonna stick with Vaquer's boyfriend here. I think that his momentum is going on the uptick. I think it does more to leave it on Bourne. I think that Gargano, this is like a sympathy spot on a pay-per-view card. Because I don't feel like they've done much. I think they probably just worried about him sneaking out the back door. So you got your pay-per-view spot just to lose. Before you go eventually see Ciampa, in my opinion.
All right, so you're going Miles Bourne?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Thank you, brother. All right. So Carlos, Johnny Gargano goes after the NXT North American Championship. From Miles Bourne, who you got? Why?
I'm glad to see Johnny get a break from planking for a day. You know, he's too talented to be doing the stupid storyline he's been doing on SmackDown. But I do think it's tying into what Mob says. I think eventually he maybe goes to AEW. But Miles Bourne is not losing this title. I think this match steals the show. I think this will be the match of the night. Johnny's going to bring it, but he's going to do it to put over Miles. I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see Miles turn heel. Again, Miles, he talked about that. He learned from Ethan Page what he needed to do to win the title. I would love to see him turn heel. Maybe join up the Vandy Project. Who knows? But no, Miles Bourne retaining this title. So.
All right, thank you. And who did you pick again, Michael? Sorry, did you pick Miles as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. 2 Miles. All right, Sean, you're up next. Miles Bourne defending against Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, I'm fully prepared to be on the island here. I knew it going in. I got Johnny Wrestling. Y'all mentioned the CW, Johnny Wrestling and his wife. I'm drawing a blank on her name right now.
Candice LeRae.
Candice LeRae. They're NXT royalty. They're probably gonna try and convince him to stick around by giving him a belt. And if he doesn't, they'll just have him drop it whenever they feel like it. But yeah, I think they don't have anything to do with Johnny Wrestling on SmackDown, especially since Ciampa left. So he's going to go over on this match, and this match will probably steal the show.
100%. You might be on the island on the panel. We'll see, but Bobby agrees with you. So that's 2 for Miles Bourne, 1 for Johnny Gargano. All right, Chris, who you got and why?
So Baby Orton versus Candice LeRae's husband.
Yeah, Baby Orton.
Let's see here. The NXT's, and I hate to steal from Kenny Omega one of his nicknames, NXT's best bout machine, Johnny Gargano versus Miles Bourne. Gargano is going to get Bourne over greater than anybody on the NXT roster ever could, and that's not an insult to the wrestlers on that roster. But Miles Bourne's about to get a rocket ship tied to his ass and shot up to the sky. So I'm going to go with Miles Bourne.
All right. Appreciate it. Yep, I agree. All right. So that's, what is it? 3 Miles Bourne, 1 Johnny Gargano. Right now, Sean, is it 3 or 4, Michael?
3-1.
Okay, thank you. Sean, Sean, you're on the island right now by yourself. Stampede, Miles Bourne, Johnny Gargano.
So this here would be the please don't leave when your contract is up in a few months and make us look like we don't know what we're doing storyline, right? Because they've already done that with his tag team partner, Ciampa. Miles Bourne has had 1 defense so far. So I would prefer that they didn't kneecap his run this early because of everything that I just mentioned to do with Johnny. Bring back, make this the story of the Johnny that we've seen on SmackDown, lying on crates out back, and make it the story of bringing back Johnny Wrestling. Do that, right? And even if he's only there for the next few months, elevate some of these guys in the next few while he's doing it. These plays better than than he has.
All right. So you're going with Miles Bourne?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. All right. 4-1. Miles Bourne. All right, DJ Khaled. Who you got? Miles Bourne, Johnny Gargano.
It's a difficult one for me to say, but I think I'm gonna go with Miles Bourne here. And but I will say this about Johnny Gargano: if he does win the championship and he does stay in NXT for a bit, I wouldn't be mad, especially if he does bring that Johnny Gargano, the black and gold Johnny Gargano, the one that gave Andrade probably his best match ever many years ago. If that Johnny Gargano shows up today, not today, on Saturday, then obviously this will steal the show, obviously. But so far, I think I can't see him winning, especially with this current version of himself that he keeps losing and losing. They might play into that in this match, so I got Miles Bourne retaining.
All right. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, Lou, you're up. Are you going to leave Sean on this island by himself? Miles Bourne, baby Randy versus Johnny Gargano.
I can't leave Sean by himself. I see Mr. NXT taking a W.
Oh, wow. Wow, Sean, you're not alone. All right. So that's 2 for Johnny Gargano. All right, Caleb. Are you going to follow suit? Are you Miles Bourne or Johnny Gargano?
I got Miles Bourne. I got Miles Bourne winning. And he's good, and he's going to retain that title at Stand and Deliver. I do not see Johnny Wrestling winning, and I think that's going to put him over at AEW with Ciampa.
All right. Thank you, Kayla. Appreciate that. So I believe that is 6-2. Miles. All right, Lady Alpha. Who you got? Miles Bourne versus Johnny Gargano or the NXT North American Championship?
Miles Bourne.
All right. Short and sweet and to the point. All right, Carlos. I love you, man, but beginning to be like, damn, do I need to go in front of Carlos? It's saying everything I want to say. I think this is going to be 100% going to be up there for one of the matches of the night. I agree with a lot what everyone said here. I think we're finally going to get to see Johnny wrestling back, not laying on these stupid ass crates with nothing to do. I still feel like they may run something on SmackDown with Motor City Machine Guns. Candice LeRae kind of teased that. I mean, maybe it doesn't materialize, but they could turn into a tag team title run over there with Alex Shelley or something. Because obviously Priest and Truth are not holding the title forever. Miles Bourne, it was reported a long time ago. He's getting a heavy push. I would love to see a heel turn as well, like Carlos said. Don't know if it happens, but he is talking about Ethan Page a lot. Miles Bourne retained. There's no way they can take the title off of him this soon. So I'm also going with Miles. All right, so we had 2 for Johnny Gargano, but the rest, 8 of us went with Miles Bourne. So we're moving on to match number 4. And it is going to be, in my opinion, should have been a co-main event maybe, or had a stipulation. I can't believe it's just a plain ass singles match. And it's going to be Sol Ruca going 1-on-1 versus Zarya. I really feel like this should have been a loser leaves NXT match, but they didn't do anything for it. What's up, DJ Khaled? What you got to say?
I'd like to go first here.
Oh, you want to go first here? Okay, perfect. All right, I'll start with you, DJ Khaled. since you want to go first, go ahead.
Yeah, I got Zarya winning this mainly because, like you said, this should have been like a loser leaves NXT match. Because it's as clear as day, Sol Ruka has got to join the main roster after she gave probably besides the main event of the Cena's last match, Saturday night main event. I think that match she had with Bailey was the best showcase match of that night, and it was clear. I mean, me as somebody who has known Sol Ruka for a while, obviously knew how good she is, but everyone else who in that arena who might have seen her for the first time were just blown away, and I think those people came later to the train that we were riding on that said, "Yep, she's got to come here to the Raw or SmackDown." And as for Zarya, I mean, she's also talented as well, but I think she needs more time to develop and really, really make her character her own. So with that in mind, I think this could be a great chance to do so. So I'm picking Zarya here, and it's evident by the fact that I saw like there was like an episode of NXT where they were booing Sol Ruka, even though she's supposed to
Yep.
be the big face here. So
Yep.
I'm going Zarya here.
All right. So going Zarya. Perfect. All right, that's one for Zarya. So we're gonna go back down to the original the way we had it from the beginning. I'm gonna start with you, or go back to you, Michael. Sol Ruka, Zarya. I can't believe that it's not a stipulation, but who you got and why?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It definitely needed a stip. But I mean, for everything that DJ Khaled just said up there, I mean, Soul's definitely the one that's ready for the main roster. Everybody knows that. When it comes to Zarya, I mean, I don't know who's familiar with her work before there, but we need more Delta, less Zarya. Like, she's supposed to be a beast, and it's gonna take a while, or it seems like it's gonna take a while for them to actually find her character. So she has to win this. Soul has to go up. It's just the most logical thing to happen. So I'm gonna go with Zarya winning.
Okay. I mean, all right, perfect. So Raymond, the birthday boy's in the comments. He is going with Tatum Paxley as well. So he broke the tie. So Tatum Paxley 6 and Blake Monroe 5. Raymond went with Tatum Paxley. All right, thanks, Michael. So and you went with Zarya. So we got 2 Zaryas. All right, Carlos. I'm sure you're gonna kill it. If you're available, I can go around, but we'll go to you next if you can. Sol Ruka versus Zarya.
So I hear you. I heard Khaled saying and stuff like that about Zarya, but I don't think. And I hear you guys saying too, this should be a loser leaves town match, but that's just it. They've been building this feud for like a year, I think. This is not going to be a one and done match kind of feud. Sol Ruka is going to be moved to the main roster, but if they were in such a hurry to do it, they would have done it already. I think Zarya wins this one. I mean, I think Sol Ruka wins this one, and I think Zarya eventually make her lose like in a loser leaves town match. But I'm going to go with Sol Ruka for this one, and I think eventually that match that you guys are talking about will main event a show.
All right. Yeah, I mean, highly possible. Thank you, Carlos.
It can't be one and done. No.
Yeah, I mean, they had a triple threat, but not 1-on-1. So yeah, take one because this is the first 1-on-1 match. So we got 2 Zaryas and 1 Sol Ruka. And Raymond is going to go with Sol to win as well. So that's 2-2. All right, Sean. Break the tie. Sol Ruka versus Zarya. Who you got?
I got Sol Ruka because it shouldn't be a one and done. They haven't announced anything for it, and I think Sol Ruka's turning heel. I think they want to. We've seen NXT over and over and over again. Before they send you to the main roster, they want to see you play both sides of the coin, and I think Sol would make an excellent heel, and I think she's going heel, and yeah, eventually we'll probably get to the loser lives NXT match, but it won't be, Sol's not going yet, in my opinion.
All right, so that's 3 Sol Ruka, 2 Zaryas. Yeah, that with them not making a stipulation like that definitely has altered the way that I look at my pick going forward with this match. With it just being just a regular singles match with these two, and it's just been going on for a year. All right, Chris, who you got?
So Carlos just had to throw the monkey wrench into the works and make me reevaluate my life choices here.
Mine too.
Thanks, Carlos.
Right. But here's the thing. Who do I want to win the match? Zarya.
Yep.
Who's going to win the match? Sol Ruka. Reason why I want Zarya to win, because Sol said something last night on the internet that I'm a dog person, grown up a dog person, and Sol said she doesn't like dogs. And Zarya, if she's booked right, is that kind of dog. Sadly, Sol's going to get this win, but I think Spring Breakin's coming up if they're going to have a Spring Breakin this year. And that's where Zarya gets the W back. So, Sol.
All right. So that was that 4 Sol, 2 Zarya, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's something around that. Yeah. All right, Stampede, Sol Ruka, Zarya, nose tip match. Who you got?
For this one, I have got some Judas in my mind. Make of that what you will.
No, wait. I gotta see this. Hold on.
Wait.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I think this is a loser league NXT match. They just haven't specifically said so. Because if they did, it essentially gives away the winner.
He's back.
If they did that, everybody knows Sol is winning. So I'm going with Zarya for the win. I think Sol gives Zarya the rub. And then I think if anybody getting called up, it's Sol Ruka. Because she is ready.
All right. So Zarya for the wins. I think Sol and JC are definitely at the top of the list on the women's side. And from you guys' reaction, it looks like Chris Jericho has come back to AEW. I'll have to check that out later. Obviously, I won't. I'm not surprised, but I don't know how long he's gonna be there. But glad to see he's back.
Big reaction from the crowd too. They were all singing that.
Oh, perfect. So Raymond says that Zarya versus Sol. He's going for Sol to win the match. All right. So I already went to DJ Khaled. So Lou. Everybody's gonna start calling you that, brother. DJ Khaled. Somebody already did it once. So make sure you put the EVP on there on the hashtag if you do. Lou, who you got? Sol Ruka versus Zarya.
Short and sweet, Sol Ruka.
All right. So I believe it's like 5. Was it 5-3? Something like that, or was it 4-3? 4-3. Yeah. Okay, 4-3. Okay, perfect. All right, Caleb. Sol Ruka, Zarya. Who you got? Caleb, you there?
I got Sol win this match. Definitely, it's not gonna be one match only. It's gonna be multiple matches for sure. So I got Sol win that match, and I did not like the crowd calling booing her, and I don't think it's gonna be a heel. It's gonna remain a face for sure. And Zarya gonna be turning heel when she already done it.
All right, appreciate it, Caleb. All right, Lady Alpha. Sol Ruka versus Zarya. Tough one to call. Who you got?
Zarya.
All right. Perfect.
It works either way.
Yep.
If Sol loses, then that could trigger her heel turn, or she could move up. It works either way if Zarya wins.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. All right, thank you, Lady Alpha. So that's 5. I think Sol Ruka 5 for Zarya. So can I tie this thing? Well, Raymond picked. I think Raymond picked Soul as well, so I can't tie it. So I've thought about this a lot. I listen to everybody's opinion. I think what Carlos said is great. DJ Khaled, obviously Sean, but I really love what Stampede said, and I don't really think I'm gonna die. Like I don't think I'm gonna let a whole I'm gonna stick to my guns. I feel like this should have been a step match, but I do think WWE, and it's already been a lot of people talked about, been reported like Saruka, like they're wanting a whole character change for her when she comes up to the main roster. She's not gonna look like the whole surfer thing. She may be a heel, who knows? Maybe new music as well. I think it's Zarya's time. I mean, I hate for it to be a one-off, but Saul Ruka finished third in the Royal Rumble. It's just time for her to come up to the main roster. I'm gonna go Zarya. I'm gonna go Zarya to beat Soul Stand and Deliver. So it's total 6 for Saul Ruka, 5 for Zarya. All right, so we got 2 matches left, and they're the 2 biggest of the night. This match is probably going to break my heart because obviously my favorite NXT wrestler is in this match, and I don't even know if I can pick against her. But Jacy Jayne, the queen, the GOAT of NXT, the 2-time women's NXT champion, who ended Stephanie McMahon's reign and has had a fantastic 2025, 2026. What's up, Sean?
I want to go first on this when we talk about
Okay, perfect. So Jacy Jayne defends against Kendall Gray, which I've talked about a lot. Her a lot on Scoops about what her being molded to the fans, and then she got the Evolve title. And now they've added Lola Vice. It's a triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship. Sean wants to start, so go ahead, Sean. Oh, this is going to be painful. Who you got?
I got Kendall Gray. And, I don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Because I really don't think there's anything left in NXT for Jacy Jayne or Lola Vice to do. I think those 2 are more likely to get called up than Soul, in my opinion. They fit. I mean, you could throw Lola Vice in the Judgment Day tomorrow and she'd fit like a glove. You could put her anywhere you want to put her. She's main roster ready. She's already on AAA a bunch. Same with Jacy Jayne. You can take that whole faction of hers and put it on the main roster tomorrow and it fits. I could see them feuding with whoever. So I think this is Kendall Gray's shining moment. This is them putting the rocket ship to her and then getting Lola and Jacy onto the main roster.
Yeah, 100%. So, there was one thing that you said. Obviously, Jacy Jayne, she did an interview. I don't remember who it was. She did it today. She said her dream match is against Liv Morgan. So if you do bring Fatal Influence up, I mean, there you go. Liv Morgan, Raquel, and Roxanne against Fatal Influence. And sign me the hell up for that. So, all right. So we got one Kendall Gray. Michael, you guys are killing me. This is gonna kill me. I can't believe I'm gonna pick against JC, but who you got? Jacy Jayne, Kendall Gray, so Lola Vice.
I'll be quick so I don't rub it in, my brother, because I respect everything you're saying about JC. She had a hell of a few years down there, last few years. With that being said, the Rockets being pulled out, I think they're gonna give Kendall Gray her time right now. So I'm gonna go with Gray.
All right. That's
female angle.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of accepting it, man. It's okay. Yeah, y'all can let me down lightly. All right, Carlos. Kendall Gray, Jacy Jayne, Lola Vice. Who you got?
Kendall Gray. Again, JC Jane surprised me. She's been really the MVP of NXT last year. Again, getting to be the TNA Women's Champion, the Knockouts Champion, and the NXT Women's Champion. Nothing. Again, she's really moved up my ladder this past year. I want to see them all move to the main roster. I want them. I want to see one of these women's factions get moved up together for once. That's what I'm really hoping for. I want to see them all get moved up to the main roster together, preferably on Raw. She's been a great champion, but it's time for her to move on. She deserves to move on. Like I was saying earlier, they do have a contract with CW for the money, but she's done her fair share on NXT. It's time to move up to the main roster. I don't think Lola comes up yet. I definitely think you got to go with the hot hand, and that's our girl. She's winning that title on Saturday.
Absolutely. All right, so that's 3 Kendall Grays. All right, I'm gonna be on. Well, yeah, I'm probably gonna be out on Monta, but it's okay. I can't pick against her. All right, Chris, go ahead.
So let me give you a little bit of history on Kendall Gray. Who's the first person to have had a match on the WWE version of Evolve? That was Kendall Gray.
Kendall Gray.
Who won that match? With
Kendall Gray.
her, Carly Bright, Callie Armstrong, and I think Danny Palmer. Kendall Gray. Now, mind you, she wasn't the first Evolve champion, but she has definitely evolved into the position that she's in. We were saying about Zarya and Soul. This is a graduation match for JC and for Lola. They're getting their degrees from the school of NXT Hard Knocks. So the only reason why I see Lola in the match is she does the job for Kendall, keeps JC strong going up. It really doesn't hurt Lola because Lola already has the momentum. So we're crowning a new women's champion at Stand and Deliver. It is the Kendall era of NXT.
All right, appreciate that. Chris, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 Kendall Grays. Irish Stampede. JC Jane defends against Kendall Gray and Lola Vice.
So JC, she has progressed as a character and in the ring to the point where she needs to go off and do music. Right? She's done all that she can in the field. Kendall Gray ticked all the boxes that you would want as a women's professional wrestler. So I think Kendall Gray takes this because there's a spot at the top of the women's bracket in NXT, and she's found as a champion.
All right, so you're going with Kendall Gray as well?
Yep.
All right, you guys are really breaking my heart here, man. It's okay. All right, DJ Khaled, who you got?
Well, I apologize in advance. I hope you hold your heart extra tight for this one because I'm going Kendall Gray as well. I think JC Jane has been doing great work in NXT, and I do like Lola Vice as well. But like Stampede just said, I think Kendall Gray is way too good. It's like I was familiar of her, like before I actually started paying attention to her and watching her matches. But once I started watching more and more of her, she really won me over very fast. And it's clear that she is NXT Women's Championship material, and I think the time is now, and you shouldn't really waste it. So I think the sooner Kendall Gray becomes champion, the better.
All right, appreciate that, DJ Khaled. My heart's already broken. It's okay. I'll come to terms. All right, Lou, who you got? Kendall Gray, JC Jane, and Lola Vice.
To quote the Unseen 17, one person's time is up, and another person's time is now. So with that being said, I'm going with Kendall.
Love it. Love the reference there. You guys just don't like me at all, man. Y'all.
I hate it, but
Y'all are hating on my queen, JC, man.
You got to go for the win, EVP. You can't be a homer. Come on, you got to tell it like it is.
No, I mean I can't pick. I'm not gonna pick her either. All right, Caleb, who you got?
I'm gonna shock everyone and go with Lola Bay. I think she's extremely talented and she's gonna win that match in the triple threat. So yeah. So I'm gonna go with
You're not shocking me, Caleb. You're on brand with your pick.
Lola, Caleb's going with Lola Vice. All right, so that's 7 Kendall Gray to 1 Lola Vice. Lady Alpha, who you got?
Kendall Gray.
All right, Lady Alpha, putting that final dagger in my heart. All right, so that's 8 Kendall Grays, 1 Lola Vice. So I started Sunday Scoops about 9 or 10, maybe a little 11 weeks ago. About 5 weeks ago, I started talking about Kendall Gray, how she's going to WWE is stopping. They love her. They want to get the fans accustomed to her first. Obviously, she won the WWE Women's Evolve Championship. Once she dropped that title, right after that, on Scoop that weekend, I said she is 1,000,000% going to stand deliver, and 1,000,000% she's going to be the one to take the title off of JC Jane. That was 5 weeks ago on Sunday Scoops. So I love you, JC. I'm still going to get that follow back. Cody, you gave me your follow back. JC, I'm coming after that follow back still. I love you so much. I think JC's had a phenomenal. She's the MVP of the one of the MVP of the women's division 2025-26. Can't wait to see what she does on the main roster. But I also am gonna go with a heavy heart, Kendall Gray, as well to beat JC Jane. But I don't think JC gets pinned. I think Lola Vice eats the pin to keep JC strong. So Kendall Gray. All right, so Raymond, I got my pick ready, my goat. All right, Raymond, you can pick anytime and I'll put it up there on the screen. So we got Caleb on the island by himself with Lola Vice. So everybody else went with Kendall Gray. So it is time for the main event, and we're running pretty decent time for a 10-11 person panel. So it's going to be it's the main event of Stand and Deliver for the men's NXT Heavyweight Championship of the World. And it's going to be Joe Henry defending against Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, and the man with the plan. He came back with 2 plans. This is plan number 2, Tony D'Angelo. I'm going to start with you, Michael, from Mob Squad. Who do you got winning and why?
I'm going to put it like this. I mean, the Joe Henry stuff, this is just not for me. I'll be honest. I don't see Ethan Page. I know that we was talking about CW needs stars. Ethan and Ricky got to go, man. With that being said, I think the rebrand is his time. I'm going to take probably could be on an island with this as well, but I'm going to go with Tony D to walk away with that belt and be branding a new star, because I don't think them other people are going to be there much longer.
All right, I love what you got to say, brother. I don't think you're going to be an island by yourself, though. 1 second, Lady Raymond said, after really thinking about this one a lot, I'm going to pick JC Jane retaining. The birthday boy is going with JC Jane. Thank you, Raymond. You're just trying to be nice, but it's okay. All right, Lady Alpha, what you got? Sorry about
that. I wanted to go next.
Okay, go ahead. Perfect. Absolutely, because I know who you love here.
Oh, yeah, I do. But my boy Michael is not on the island. It's Tony. It's Tony. It's his plan. I got it wrong last time. I don't think I'm wrong. It's Tony D for the win.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Lady Alpha. So that's 2 for Tony D. And Bobby is also going with Tony D as well.
Let's go.
All right, Carlos. Michael started a trend. What's going on here? Who you got?
He's got me rethinking. He's got me rethinking my pick too. We'll roll with it. I'll go Tony D as well. But I'm going to say he doesn't get pinned. I'm going to say Ethan Page does the favor one last time before going to the main roster. I do think it's time for Ethan and Ricky to go up. In my fantasy booking, I'd love to see them added to the IC title ladder match. I know it's probably not going to happen, but I do think those guys are coming up. I think you can let this new talent cook. Joe Henry's not going anywhere, though. And then that way it gives him a reason to go try to get his title back without ever losing it, getting pinned. I'm gonna go with Tony D with Ethan Page taking the loss.
Nice.
All right, nice. So that's three Tony D'Angelo. Perfect. All right, Sean. It looks like you started an island, not left on the island alone, Michael. Sean, who you got?
Yeah, I thought I was going to be on the island too, but yeah, I'm going Tony D'Angelo.
Oh wow!
For a lot of the reasons
Okay.
everyone else is saying, like Ricky Saints and Ethan Page got nothing left to prove. Hendry can do he can go to TNA anytime. He can do what he's Teflon. Tony D'Angelo just needs this more than anyone else in the match, and I think they're going to give it to him.
All right, appreciate that, Sean. All right, Chris. Are you joining this island, or are you gonna jump off the ship like Raymond did about picking? I wanted to pick JC, and she's my favorite, and I didn't. But
So wait. Raymond went with who?
Raymond went with JC Jane. He hasn't picked this match, but he was on the
okay.
island by himself.
So I'm gonna join Mob and Carlos and Sean and Lady Alpha in picking Tony D. You know, we've already said that Ricky and Ethan are main roster ready. I think they factor into WrestleMania Night 2 just for some reason. Joe can easily go up to the main roster. I mean, heck, who is the only TNA champion in the history to have ever been in WrestleMania, even if you did the 60-second job for Randy Orton? I mean, he could go up there as well. So it's a shoo-in. I mean, Tony D, it's his era, it's his time. He's been passed over enough in regards in the gimmick change. If you don't put the championship on him now, was he really worth the gimmick change at all? So Tony D.
All right, appreciate it, Chris. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Raymond, you can make your pick at any time in the comments, and I'll put it up there just whenever you're ready, birthday boy. All right, Stampede. Tony D, Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, and Joe Henry.
So I'm going to suggest something that WWE is very uncomfortable with, and that is striking while the iron is white hot. And that iron in this scenario is Tony D'Angelo. Like, he ticks every possible box you want to tick since that character shift. Right? Joe Henry doesn't. Right? Ricky Saints doesn't. Ethan does, but Ethan has already done all this. He's done all he can there. Move him to the next stage of his journey. But Tony D is the guy. Make him the guy.
All right, thank you, Stampede. All right, DJ Khaled. Who you got? Tony D, Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, or Joe Hendry, the world champion?
Well, I'm probably going to be in an island by myself here. But while I love Tony D'Angelo, and I would really be so happy for him to see him become the new champion, I have no idea why, but for some reason, I'm going with Joe Hendry retaining on this. Because Stampede said it himself, WWE fears doing the right thing most of the time, and I think they're going to fear it again. And as far as Ethan Page and Ricky Saints are concerned, I think it's time for them to go to the main roster like Sol Ruca. But as much as I think Tony D'Angelo would be a fresh new champion, I'm unfortunately going to have to go with Joe Hendry retaining, even though I don't want it to happen.
All right, appreciate you, DJ Khaled. All right, Lou. Joe Henry, Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, or Tony D'Angelo? Who you got?
I'm going to keep this super short and sweet. I'm going with Tony.
All right.
He just the story that's behind him since he's kind of come back with the current character that he's currently using. It would only make sense for him to win.
All right, appreciate that. All right, so Bobby said Ricky Saints, Ethan Page should get caught up right after Mania. Raymond, whenever you're ready to pick, you can pick. All right, Caleb, who you got?
I'm gonna go with everyone else, Tony D, because I think that Ricky Saints and Ethan Page gonna call up after Mania. Yeah, definitely. And Tony D'Angelo needs that title. Joe Hendry doesn't need it. He's a good star. He doesn't need a title. And Ricky Saints and Ethan Page gonna go head up to the main roster, hopefully on Raw. So yeah, that's why I'm picking Tony D.
All right, thank you, Caleb. So that's eight Tony D and 1 Joe Henry. So I will put this in a little ball for you guys. It kind of touches off what Carlos and Stampede have both said. Lou, Lady Alpha, Lou picked Tony. All right. So Tony D'Angelo came back to NXT after obviously he lost everything to Stacks. For 2 reasons. Take out Dark State, which he went through them one by one. Second reason was to win this NXT championship, which I do agree with Stampede. WWE is afraid to strike while the iron's hot. But what I do also know, I mean, you got to take this with a grain of salt if you want, but I honestly think I don't think Joe Henry's going up. I don't think that Blake Monroe's going up. The CW is paying too much money. I think he can stay down and ultimately feud with Tony after this. But Ethan Page and Ricky Saints, I know people are going to say, oh, the EVP's crazy, but if Randy Orton's going to start up some sort of legacy, that seems like 2 guys I'd like to throw into that legacy with the Viper. If we're going to have a legacy 2.0, and that's Ethan Page and Ricky Saints. So I'm going to also go with Tony D'Angelo to win, but I do not believe that Joe Henry goes up to the main roster. I think CW needs Joe Henry and Blake Monroe down there for I don't know how long, but for a while. But yeah, so I'm going with Tony D. Michael, you started it. I was going with him anyway, so I was like, yes, let's go. Lou, what's up, buddy?
So you don't believe in Joe Hendry?
I do believe in Joe Hendry, but not Saturday night. I don't.
I don't think
Fair
he
enough.
goes up for a while neither. I gotta agree with you there.
He's not going up. He's not. They got to keep him and Blake down there. I mean, I'm not saying he might not make appearances, but they can't gut the entire roster. They just,
They really can.
And
I had to make
here's something to add. With all the talk of who we think is going up, I'd hate to see who's going to be on Black Monday when all the pink slips come down.
Yeah,
So-
I know. I mean,
Let's hope that they had a minimum this year.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, this has been our NXT Stand and Deliver prediction show. This is awesome. We have 217 people watching, so shout out to all the 217 viewers that's watching live, either on my on the EVP Show YouTube channel, my X account, or on the CEO, the head of the table of DWE himself, Miami the Great Twitter page as well. So I'm gonna go through. But before I do, we're gonna go ahead and go to the outro, and then I will go ahead. I will come back and I'll go through and thank each and every one of you guys. Give you guys a chance to plug what you guys got going on. Before I do that, Raymond, the birthday boy, says, I believe in Joe Henry. He's my pick. I always believe in Joe Henry. Say his name, he appears. I believe in Joe Henry. He's my pick. I'm locked in. I believe. Happy birthday, Raymond. Joe Henry is his pick. All right. So, and Bobby said thanks. So, all right. So, somebody else picked Joe. So, whoever else picked Joe, you have somebody with you. All right. So, we're going to go to the outro. I'll be back, and I will thank all you guys. You guys can plug whatever you need to, and then I will end on what all I have coming up and get us ready for WrestleMania in 2 weeks. So enjoy.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Prediction Sports. Let go, let show recaps prediction sports
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps Prediction Sports. Let go.
Once again, thank you and shout out to everyone that has watched live on the EVP Show channel on my X, on Miami's X. We're up to 220 viewers. At Birdlight says, yo, I'm not sure. I haven't seen him. That might be one of you guys' people.
That's actually my family. That's my family right there. He gonna follow it. He gonna follow you. That's my family.
Perfect. Good. I love it. I love seeing it. So this is what we're all about, man. So special shout out to everyone. Caleb, Lou, obviously from DWE Island. First time on the EVP show. DJ Khaled, I gotta call you that, brother. Stampede. I see you a lot in my streams. You're very supportive. Thank you for everything that you do. I also see you at WrestleMania as well. I was on your show last night. She's been on my prediction shows a lot. Most of anybody else. Lady Alpha, thank you again. Also, Chris, one of my really good friends, always a ear for me to talk to when I'm struggling, going through a rough time. Thank you, Chris. I'll see you also at WrestleMania. First time on the EVP show, man. We go back a long way to Twitter Spaces on Main Event Mondays, to be exact. Is Sean. Good to see you as well. I will give everybody a chance to plug themselves. And like I said, one of the best people in the community. Love listening to his content. Does excellent work. I'm always honored to be able for him to come on my show. Obviously, love to be able to go and talk with you guys on one of you guys' shows one day as well. If I can ever get AEW knowledgeable, hopefully it might be coming soon if WWE don't fix their shit. But shout out to Carlos. Thank you again. And he is also one of my favorites. I helped him run a tournament a long time ago that I did fairly well in against a bunch of big YouTube podcasters, and he does a lot for the community. Great guy, great content, and that's Michael from Mob Squad. So I'm gonna go around and let everybody kind of give a plug for themselves, and then I will end with my huge long spiel on my plugs. Michael, I'm going to start with you. Go ahead.
I'll be fast. I would just say, first of all, shout out to the EVP of this for having me on here. Shout out to everybody on this panel. We got, the Avengers assembled. Look like we're trying to take down the Infinity Stones over here. But anytime anybody needs to look for me, head on over to Mob Squad 508. Same name that you see under me. That's the YouTube. That's the Elite Mob podcast. You can also catch me, Carlos, and the mayor of Canada, Stampede, along with Chris, typically Saturdays at 3 p.m., Sundays at 7 p.m. over on Spedrock Productions. That's on Twitch. That's spelled SP3DROCK. So if you want to follow us for some good content, get over there for the weekends. But other than that, man, it's been a pleasure. Anytime, I'll be ready for the WrestleMania predictions.
Thank you so much, Michael. Anytime, like I said, anybody that has a YouTube channel, I'm usually off on Wednesdays and Saturdays unless it's a PLE week. I'm always game to come on a show.
We can set something up on a Wednesday or typically any Saturday as long as it's after 5. We definitely
hit me up, man. Anytime. I'm down to collaborate and come on other people's stuff. So thank you again. All right, Carlos. I'll see you on WrestleMania. What you got? Thank you again, brother. Go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you on social and what you got coming up.
So again, just thank you for having me. Thank you for the kind words. Again, I love what you do. I respect your hustle. That's why I'm here. Again, I've got to prepare for my space tonight, but I also come support you Again, like love you giving people a platform that don't usually have a platform to come on and get their voice heard as well. So thank you for that. Next time to catch me is with Sean. We'll be on after Dynamite doing Wednesday Night Kiosk, AEW Dynamite Space. Support the Wrestle Collective. Please support the Fan of Pro Wrestling, and also I'll give a shout out as well for Point Taken. I really love doing that show. Tune in this Saturday to see me become the first five-time champion. Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Carlos. Always a pleasure. Anytime, man. Be willing to come on. Thank you again. You're great. All right, Sean. Loved having you first time. I'll definitely see you on April 15th for WrestleMania. Where can everybody find you and what you got going on next coming up?
Yeah, I'll be I co-host with Carlos on Monday for the Raw Reaction Space, on Wednesday for the Dynamite review. So, I mean, if you got time, you want to come listen to a couple of idiots talk, and I mean me and Caleb, not Carlos, stop by and we can talk about the real Canadian hero, Chris Jericho. So, we'll be there, and I'll be corrupting Caleb a little more. I might get him to say another cuss word tonight. Who knows? But in the meantime, ooses.
Thank you, Sean. Appreciate you a lot, and I will see you at WrestleMania. And I'm sure we'll talk before that. All right, Chris. Like I said, one of the best people I've met. We just met a few weeks ago. But thank you, for being a great friend and listening ear. And always game to come on any prediction show that I have. So tell all these lovely people where they can find you. On social media and what you got coming up next.
So in between streaming services right now, so going back to StreamYard after about a year. From the Cheap Seats podcast on everything but the Facebook. Guest contributor to Spedrock's Good Evening IWC, as well as rotating contender, not yet won a championship like the rest of the horsemen that's spoken before me. Just know the reason why I say what I say and do what I do is because us as a community, we thrive together, we ride together, or we die together. And I do this for the love of the game, but it's also to take care of my brothers and sisters, especially the ones sitting in this room right now. You could ask Ed up there what we've talked about in the past. But yeah, no, it's pure pleasure to be able to sit for my cheap seat right here in Texas and make sure that I'm taking care of all y'all. So it was a blessing to be on here. I'll see you in 2 weeks for WrestleMania. Yeah, love you guys.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate you. All right. Next up, she is one half of the Wrestling Divas podcast. I was lucky enough to be on their show last night. Lady Alpha, tell everybody where they can find you. And you are a part of Gimmick Table Media as well. Let me take you off of mute. Sorry.
Me.
I muted you and you were trying to unmute yourself. Sorry about that.
You can find me on X at Lady Alpha KK KAY. Don't shorten it. That's not me. Every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, which may be changing. We're not certain. You can find me on the Wrestling Divas podcast with my friend Autumn. And that Saturday, I will be on Open Challenge with Michael Llewellyn from Kicking Out at 2. That's it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Lady Alpha. We'll definitely be in touch. Hope everything goes well. I know you said you had to roll out, but thank you for coming. I don't know if I'll see you for WrestleMania, but definitely let me know because I do have an opening. So just let me know when it gets closer to time.
I will.
All right, thank you so much. All right, Stampede. Obviously everybody knows you, so many different nicknames. So go ahead and tell everybody. Now it's all like faded out. Tell everybody where they can find you on socials and what you got coming up.
Yeah. I believe in Bigfoot more than I do Joe Henry. I don't understand what Joe Henry. But and to all the fans who couldn't wait for Chris Jericho to return, you got your wish. Sort of. Go watch it if you wanted him back. Right? You can find me Thursdays in video form on the Run In Wrestling podcast on Thursday evening. And on Saturdays, you can all come and breathe with the Stampede, the catalyst, and the only true Grand Slam champion of Point Taken, where every Saturday it is the Stampede Day.
All right, appreciate you, Stampede. And I will say about, I don't know, I guess it was around Royal Rumble time. I said on Sunday Scoops, I felt like Chris Jericho was coming to WWE, so I will definitely eat all that crew. There was a lot of other big time journalists that also predicted Chris Jericho to go to WWE. So I definitely will eat my crow though and say I was absolutely 100% wrong. I did think he was going back to WWE, but I guess it's not happening. So it is what it is. But I'm glad to see him back on TV. So all right, Lou. Where can we find you? And what do you have coming up next?
Y'all can find me. I think most of y'all already following me anyway, but for those of you that are not, you can find me on Trustvex _ on the Twitter. I refuse to call it by the other one because for other reasons, but that's neither here or there.
All right, thank you, Lou. All right, Caleb. Tell everybody where they can find you on what you got coming up. I'll see you in 2
Yeah,
weeks.
so I got a couple of things going on. You can find me on Penny Mac Caleb, and I do podcast with my buddy Vinny Corner, and I also show up at Retro WWE Reaction and AEW Dynamite Reaction also with Carlo and Sean. Definitely, and I cannot wait to join you guys at WrestleMania prediction show.
Thank you so much, Caleb. All right, guys, I'm going to close this out. Obviously, I'm the EVP. I want to give a super shout out to everyone that helps everything, helps me get this thing together each and every night, each and every week. And that is the CEO, the head of the table himself, Miami the Great, the unseen Blinghausen herself, one half of Talk It Up Wrestling Podcast and DW Radio. Make sure you give them a follow on X and also a subscription on YouTube. That is also World of Greg, Director Reg, and After the Slam Podcast. All make sure you follow him and give him a subscription as well on YouTube. As everyone affiliated with DWE and also everyone affiliated with Gimmick Table Media as well, and also everybody here that has Mob Squad, FTCS podcast. Every podcast that's mentioned on this show, make sure you give them a follow and a subscription because everyone this is like Mike Michael says, a venture channel. All my stuff is scrolling across the bottom of the screen, guys. I made it nice and pretty and blue and big for you guys. If you live under a rock and you don't know who I am the EVP CJP. You can find me on X with that handle at EVP CJP. Instagram, if you're looking for me to go on there and dance, then you just don't need to follow me because this shit ain't gonna happen. It's all a promotion channel. Just for thanks to the World of Greg and Miami for my videos. You guys, I'm sure you guys enjoy my videos on X for the stream. Thanks to Miami and World of Greg. They do all of that work. But you can find me if you are looking for me on Instagram at EVPCJP, TikTok, Also, there are some dancing videos on TikTok, so don't get crazy in there if you do find me on TikTok. Back in my wild days. But yeah, it's mainly promotion. Everything my YouTube is promoted on all my platforms. It's at Brady the Goat, DA Goat 21. That's at Brady Brady in reference to Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. Tom Brady at Brady the Goat 21. He is my favorite football player of all time. So, yeah. But last but not least, most importantly, if you guys are watching this stream, whether on X or not subscribed to me, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed and you've been on here, or if you watch my content, if you have friends that you think might like my content, just please share my stream. I've seen Chris has done it, Stampede, Lou, a few others, Michael as well. It's at the top of my X page. So give me a subscribe to YouTube. If you can't find me, like I said, all my links are in my bio, but you go to the top and you type in at the EVP show. And you can find me. There's a shit ton of shorts. I'm live a lot, 5 days a week at least. So make sure, if you guys, especially the guys that's on this show tonight, if you guys can just go in and just give me a simple like, that helps me so much in the algorithm. I'm going to tell you guys starting off, I haven't been doing this a year. I had about 80 followers or subscribers. My goal was to get to 200 before WrestleMania. I hit that about 4 or 5 weeks, about 5 weeks before WrestleMania. I'm up to 210 subscribers. So my next goal is also to get to 300. So thank you guys for that. What I have coming up next, guys, make it quick and short and sweet. Tomorrow night, I'm back at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for your TNA recap show. And you can catch me Friday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for the SmackDown recap show. Saturday, after the dust settles at NXT Stand and Deliver, you can come to the EVP show channel, hit that notification bell for the reminder. At 10:30 p.m. Eastern, I will be doing an NXT Stand and Deliver recap show. And following out the week, on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, first 30 minutes is all news, spoilers, and scoops. And then I open up the Q&A to people that have questions from Twitter and YouTube. And it's Sunday Night Scoop episode number 17 with the EVP. That being said, special shout out to everyone: Caleb, Blue, Stampede, Chris, DJ Khaled, Michael, Carlos, and Lady Alpha for coming on tonight. I can't wait to work with you guys and see you guys again at WrestleMania. April 15th, 7 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be a lot longer. Well, we're almost at the 2-hour mark, so I think we can do it, guys. We move at a good pace, so I think we're going to be fine for WrestleMania as well. We are looking for one more person, so if you guys know anybody, DM me. I got a post out on X. Make sure you guys share it. I am looking for one more person to come on. We want to fill this thing up. So that being said, guys, thank you so much again for your patience and everybody coming on. I had a great time. There was no drama, which is always the best thing. Main thing is love one another, pick each other up. We're all in this together. This isn't a competition. This is to try to bring this crazy community together. And thank you guys so much for helping me be a part of this community and coming on my show and sharing you guys' wisdom. I am the EVP from the EVP show. And listen, Cody, you may say it, but I am the only golden boy of DWE. And if you're not DWE is the place to be. Good night, everyone, and I will see you guys tomorrow night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for my TNA recap show. Terry, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Night, guys.